up, everybody? Dead Girl here. Happy Wednesday! Joining me this evening is one of my favorite buskers in the whole wide world. I have Brian, also known as Borah, to the folks there at Salem and around the world. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me again, and I've missed you.
I missed you too.
I have. I haven't seen you in, I got 2 years ago at Spooky, I think it was.
Yeah, the October show, right, in Tampa.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It's been too long. I think one of us is due for a visit.
Me. Did you go this year?
I did go to I went to their show that they did in December, which was smaller, a lot of really good vendors and a couple of guests. And then I went to their May show that they had, or April show, which was bigger and still like really good. Everybody was great. Everybody, did their masks and social distance. So it was oddly comfortable for being in that big of a crowd, which I was okay with.
Good. And it had been so long cooped up in the house. I would imagine it would be just a little off.
Yeah.
But time because everybody's like family there, right?
Yes, exactly. It was good to see everybody.
I missed it. I wanted to go so bad.
You gotta come back soon.
Well, I can't go in October because I can't leave Salem, but I will be there, I hope, in the spring, summer.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Okay, is to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a lot of people from Spooky in the chat saying hi, and they've missed you.
Hey, guys, I missed you, too. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun in 2022, right?
I'm excited. Now, before we get into all the things, some people who may be watching may not be familiar with you. So if you don't mind, would you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I was born in South Carolina, and I left right after high school because I just didn't feel comfortable there. I didn't feel right. I didn't fit in. And then I went to school in Cincinnati where I studied acting for a couple of years, and then I moved to South Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, actually to Cuesta.
My old stomping grounds.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
My gosh, really? When did you live there? What year?
And then I escaped. I was there probably 94 to 2016, I think is when I left and moved up to Orlando.
We were there. I was there in the early 90s. Yeah. What street did you live on?
So we were initially we were off of Miami Road, and then we moved over by State Road 84.
That's west?
That's east, but it's west of A1A, but it's east of 95.
Okay, so you're like right there. Whoop.
Yes.
So that's so cool. Did you ever go to the Christmas shop?
Yes.
A Christmas place.
I loved that place with the upside down trees. That place was amazing.
I worked there for a couple of years. I love that place.
I bet I saw you and didn't know it was you. You know what I mean? I bet our paths crossed and we didn't know each other at that point.
We were probably in this building at the same time.
Yes.
Remember they had those like shelves of Empire blow molds, Santa Claus.
Yes.
Oh, man.
They
and
were
they had
so pretty.
And boxes and boxes of garland and wreaths. And they had a light room.
They had so much, like, if you were a Christmas person, this was your, like, holy grail of pilgrimages. Like, this store was insane.
Santa Claus went in there and threw up everywhere. It was crazy. They had a room with Department 56, the old Christmas village.
Yep.
Pieces. They had a Radco room.
Oh, that's right. They did. I forgot about that.
Those glass ornaments.
I did. I forgot about that. See, I used to go to school at Fort Lauderdale High School. So we would get out of school and we would walk down and we would go to the Christmas shop.
Yeah. Well, the lady that owned that started in a little corner selling Christmas ornaments. And then she ultimately bought the building and rented it out as a mall for different little spaces for people to sell different things.
Yeah.
And then she said, you know what? Her Christmas section got bigger and bigger, and then she just took the whole thing over.
Good for her.
She owned one in Miami. She made lots of money.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Good for her. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just like, I used to live there.
No, that's okay. I'm glad you did. That is so cool. It's a small world. So
It is. So you were in Fort Lauderdale for a while, and I'm
yeah.
assuming you decided like that was not the place for you either.
Well, it was hot and muggy, and I'm like, and still I didn't really think like those people, so I'm like, I gotta go. So, that's when I actually was living. I had met Igor, my husband, in Fort Lauderdale, and
Okay.
yeah, so I decided it was time to move closer to my family in South Carolina, but I didn't want to live directly in South Carolina. So we moved to Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, a little town called Tucker,
Okay.
Georgia. And still didn't like it there 100%. But in the back of my mind the whole time, I knew I needed to move to Salem. I knew I needed to move somewhere up northeast. So from day one, I told Igor, I said, look, we got to move to Salem. So just put that little seed in the back of your head. So
Just plant it.
finally, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said you just planted it ever so gently.
Oh, and then I watered the hell out of it. I did. So finally, there's two different stories on how we ended up in Salem
Okay.
before we moved here. So they're simple stories that told the opposite. We were on the train coming from Boston, and we literally made a oops, and we're supposed to get off at Swampscott, which is this town next door.
Okay.
And we were talking, and we ended up in Salem. And he said, well, while we're here, we might as well just walk around. And it was a Sunday, and we didn't have a lot of time. So
Okay.
we walked around, and that's when he fell in love with Salem. And I was in love with Salem years and years and years ago.
Aww.
So he fell in love with Salem on that trip. Now he says that I deliberately skipped Swampscott. Everything in New England is spelled a certain way, but it's pronounced completely different.
Okay.
So Swampscott is spelled Swampscott, but it's pronounced Swampscott.
Okay.
For
Okay.
example.
It's a northern thing.
It is a northern thing. So that's his story. I fooled him there, and my story is no, we were talking and accidentally ended up in Salem, but thank goodness it was meant to be.
Yes. Oh, now how long have you guys been in Salem now then?
We moved here in 2016.
Okay.
I think it was the spring or summer of 2016.
Aw.
And yeah, and we rented an apartment for 6 months, give or take, 4 months. And we moved to our current house in October was it October of 2016? I believe it was October 20. I don't remember. I think it was October 2016.
Oh, wow.
And I decorated, and that's when we jumped into Halloween right away. Or we moved right a week before, either the last week of September.
That's awesome. I keep telling the husband, like, we're going to go and we're going to visit, and I would like to go into Halloween, but I would also like to go in the off season so that we can get a little bit less of the craziness of things that happen. But we'll get into all that. My real question though is you've been there for a few years, and you have this wonderfully amazing character that you go into, and I don't know what it is about Borah, but I had an immediate love affair just from the online presence, and then in person it just blossomed into this big beautiful thing. So I have to ask, how did Borah come to be? How did this happen? How did Borah come to be?
I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Borah came to be. So when I moved here, I did not know that Salem had this huge Halloween month-long. Now it's going into September, starting in towards the end of September, going through October, Halloween party with over 500,000 people visiting.
Wow.
During October. So all I knew was there was a parade, and then there was that German witch dance that everybody knows about.
Yes.
I don't know that it's a German name. I can't pronounce it.
I can't either, but I know what you're talking about because I've seen different videos of everybody. Yeah, with the brooms.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I sent out a Facebook message. I said, "Hey, let's do this dance for the parade." And then we met, and I said, "Okay, now we've got to come up with characters. We've got to know how they smell, how they eat, where they live, what they look like, their personalities, and a character breakdown." And I said, "We've got to do this. We got to devote to this. We got to really invest in this." And
Yeah.
so I went to so I drew out some sketches. I went to Savers here. It's like Goodwill.
Okay.
It's called Savers, and I got some clothes for like $5 and
Nice.
hot glue, literally hot glue, and I just threw this costume together. And then there's a makeup artist here named Rob, who
Okay.
owns the Magic Parlor. He
Okay.
does makeup art. He's a makeup artist for the movies, and so I said to Rob, I went there a couple of days and I said, "Hey, this is the character. This is the field. I want it to be green. I want a nose and a chin and certain features." And when I went there, the day of the parade, which is always the first Thursday in October,
Okay.
he painted up my face, put on the prosthetic nose and chin. And when I came home in street clothes, you know, people they weren't even looking at me twice. It's normal for somebody with normal street clothes with a mask on in Salem. So when I came home and I put the costume on, I just changed and became this character, and then something just organically happened when I was looking in the mirror. So, and the name came from a convenience store in Beverly, the next town over, called Borah. And I saw the name on the store and I said, I like that name. So that's how I came up with the character of Borah.
Wow. I love that I love that Bora happened organically in that sense. Do you do certain things? Like, do you have certain rules of things that you will not do as Bora and things that you will do as Bora? Like, is there a line that you have where you're like, okay, I can't be too mean to people, but some people, they may kind of deserve it a little bit.
Well, that's funny you ask, because I am at the point where I can just fill them out by just looking at them walk by sometimes. And I can tell how far I can push or how far where I can go, where I can't go.
Okay.
And if I make a mistake and I see that, oops, I can't go there, then I just reel it back, or I switch it to something else with them, and just, they don't even know what's happened. And I totally just turned it around and they're like, well, oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, and a lot of times, most of the time, stuff just flies out of my mouth and I don't know what I say. So, and that's the fun part, improvising. One thing I don't like to do is I don't like to go out in the heat. It is so freaking hot.
Well, you have layers. Like, Bora has tons of layers. In fact, this is a good thing that I kind of wanted to show some folks, because Bora has many looks. But as you guys can see from the pictures here, and you have layers from stockings to shoes to different shirts and jackets and gloves. So, I mean, I can imagine the heat is your enemy.
It is. That purple costume is about, that costume there is about, oh God, 8 layers of different cuts of material that's sewn together and has elastic, and it's just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer and layer and layer. It's hot.
Oh.
The wig is hot. The hat is hot. The hat is velvet. The hat's made by Evercrumbly, like a crumbly, Evercrumbly and Witch.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and the costume, the kind of maroon, burgundy looking, reddish, brownish costume, where I'm holding the pumpkin, that is the heaviest costume. That's linen, and it's, for some reason, it's just doggone heavy, and I think that weighs about 15, literally about 15 pounds at least.
Wow.
And I've got a little, in the back, I have a butt lifter, so it kind of pushes out and up the butt. And but literally that's one, two, three layers there, and it's heavier than the purple costume.
Wow, you got to have some muscle then for carrying around all that weight, especially with that one being like 15 pounds.
I'm serious. It is heavy. It doesn't look heavy. I'm
And
surprised it's not lighter.
you're like I've watched you and you like zoom everywhere. Like you don't there's no standing still for you. Like you
I,
are all over the place. So be able to do that and those heavy costumes and the layers and everything, especially with being, out like in Salem, it's you guys get a different heat obviously than we do in Florida. It's still hot though, I'd imagine. So I can understand your aversion to having to deal with like 90-degree weather.
it's a different hot though. You guys are humid. Ours is dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different hot. I had a wedding vow renewal. Travis and Laura, if you're watching, happy anniversary.
Yay, anniversaries!
They had,
Congratulations.
they had their two kids there. That was a fun wedding vow renewal, but it was in the garden behind Rope's Mansion where Disney filmed Hocus Pocus.
Oh, nice.
House.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so we were directly in the sun, and Igor said, you know what, if they don't mind, let's move to a different location under the shade, the tree. So we did. And it turned out to be beautiful, great idea, and I never thought of it before. And it was right behind everyone was a huge old tree that now has a disease, so they're trying to save the tree.
Okay.
Hundreds of years old.
Oh, wow.
And it's right beside the house. So that turned out to be a good place. So it's hot. It was hot.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you, being a busker, are you out there year round, or are you mostly out there around like Halloween time?
Mostly Halloween. So I'm taking 3 weeks off in October this year. So I'll be out there every single day.
Oh, wow.
That I'm not working. I think I'm working like 3 days in October and then I have the rest of the days off. So I'm out there sometimes during the summer. If there's a certain festival, I'll go out there quickly for a day.
Okay.
I get lots of messages asking if I'll be out, and I just can't. It's just so hot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So I do have weddings all year long that are, our summers are short here. So
Yeah.
a lot of them are in the cooler months.
Okay.
And in October, I am out all year long.
Now, where can if folks come to Salem and if it's during the October month, where of course it's Halloween, it's a big celebration, everybody's out having a great time. Where can people find you if they want to get like a picture or just to say hi?
That's an interesting question. Because COVID has changed things up a little bit.
Yes.
So generally, I am right on Essex Street, which is a walking pedestrian street.
Okay.
And right behind Rockefeller's, which is a restaurant on Washington and Essex. And it's Higginson Street that I stand on. It's an alley.
Okay.
So that's where they can go. And I do post on my on my social media where and when I'll be, and I'm usually there.
Okay.
The reason I say it's interesting is because last year during COVID, there were some plywood pieces of plywood that had scenes painted on them in the Common, which is a huge park in Salem, and so buskers were allowed to stand there. And I didn't do it but once. I was afraid to go out because of COVID, but we can talk about that later. So why I'm saying it's interesting is because I'm sitting on a committee with some local people in Salem, and we are trying to figure out how to make it safe for people this year. Lots of time, it's so crowded, and some buskers and some musicians create such a huge crowd that it bottlenecks.
Okay.
So it could lead to some safety some safety issues. So we're trying to figure out what to do. Are we going to assign spots, different times? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going to end up this year. Again, I do have lots of weddings, so I'll be on the street less.
Okay.
Then again, there is a place called Witch Picks WITCHPIX.
Okay.
And you can go there. You can make an appointment. They have witch costumes that you can wear, and
Oh, nice.
stand in front of different scenes, and you have your picture taken. So we are talking about working out some little projects where you can come and have your pictures taken with Borah, and
Oh, that would
so
be
we're working
fun.
stuff like that, and that's indoors, and it's a controlled crowd. So we'll see. I don't know
Okay.
what's going to happen this year.
I love that idea. I think that's fantastic. That right there is definitely worth it because you get the nice. I mean, granted, it's easy to take a picture with your phone, yes, but it's nice to have a professional picture done, especially if you can get into costume as well. And you being there as Borah, I'm sure a lot of folks would be into that.
It's a lot of fun. They do a really they're really great with their pictures. And those two pictures of those costumes were taken at Witch Picks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they have, like I said, like 4 or 5 different backdrops, and they're great pictures.
Oh, they're beautiful. I mean, just the ones that we've got, just to kind of show you guys again, the ones that we've got here. Oh, they're so pretty, and I'm not sure who's the photographer because that's a beautiful, beautiful shots.
They have a couple photographers there. One is named PJ, but they use several different photographers there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
And,
awesome.
They have racks of witch costumes and hats. So, but I don't know what's going to happen with COVID. We're easing back with safety. Well, the safety measures are gone, but it's up to the individual stores
Okay.
how they implement any safety guidelines.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you too. Is as a performer, especially being out there with the public, how has COVID impacted, you personally, like as far not personally but professionally? Let me rephrase that.
So when we were allowed to go out before October, before everything got shut down here, we were told to stay 6 feet apart. So I have a 6-foot broom. If somebody wanted a picture, I would stand on one end, they would stand on the other end. A lot of people.
Oh, that's a fun solution. I like that.
It worked. So I was nervous, and people would come up and run and forget, and I had to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because my facial expressions, I used that a lot. So the mask hid it. So I relied on my eyes to really communicate visually, for people to see.
Yeah.
You tell a lot with your eyes. So, and then I didn't go out a whole lot, as I said earlier. I did not go out a whole lot at all. And I was just like, stay away, because I knew what this disease did to people.
Yeah.
In healthcare. And I knew a couple of people that passed away, a couple of family members.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Members, yeah, that's okay, So, but yeah, so I didn't go out a whole lot.
Okay. And then now when they started to open back up, were you, kind of easing everybody back into it? I know, like, for example, last October, they basically, like, canceled Halloween.
They did.
Which I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. Of all places, Salem was like, not happening.
Exactly. So they had the DMV signs that lit up Salem is closed for Halloween.
Yeah.
They closed down train. Salem is the train goes straight into Salem to Boston and New York.
Okay.
They were canceling some of the trains that would bring people into Salem.
Oh, wow.
So they really closed Salem down for October. Now here we said Salem was not Halloween was not canceled, so we all have to be very careful about that, because people will be like, you cannot cancel Halloween.
All right, I worded that wrong. Not canceled, but it was not the big to-do that Salem is known for. Let me rephrase that, so I apologize. The big to-do and the parades and all that, that normally happen, those things last year in particular weren't weren't a thing. Now, is that going to be coming back this year? Are you guys still trying to figure everything out?
Yeah. Now, I wasn't talking about you. I'm speaking you in general. People, even I said that, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't say that. So
Watch,
anyway,
the internet will get you.
It will. So Salem is going to be wide open for October this year.
Oh, okay.
We're expecting more than 500,000 people. It's probably going to be the hugest October that Salem's ever seen. 5 weekends in October. It's just, you can't control the crowds.
Right.
I mean, they did last year because they shut the streets down. They shut parts of Essex Street down. They had the signs that I told you DMV had out on the interstate. So it's going to be, the ball, everything's happening. Balls, the parade. The parade actually is going to be a little bit different this year. And if the Salem Chamber of Commerce is watching, I apologize. They're the ones that put on the parade.
Okay.
Usually it's blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks. These floats and these entries that are going a couple of miles around in Salem. And you cannot see the sidewalk. You cannot see the buildings. There's so many people.
Wow.
This year, what's proposed is a reverse parade where the floats are stationary on the road and people can walk around.
Oh, and kind of do like pictures if they want, and kind of stop and take their time and enjoy them, so that I kind of like, okay, so I'm not trying to tie anything in here, so forgive me. But like Universal Studios did that with their Mardi Gras. Instead of having, because they normally do like this big parade, instead they had some of the floats stationary so people could just walk up and walk around them and do pictures. And they did the same thing for Christmas last year.
For COVID? During COVID? So I don't get that.
Welcome to Florida.
No, but we might do that.
It's a great idea.
You do? Because I'm thinking if you're going to watch a parade, you stand there on the sidewalk, the parade goes by, then you leave.
Yes.
If it's stationary, people are going to walk around, bump into each other. They have their heads turned, they bump into each other, they're rubbing elbows to get to all the floats. So it's got
its pros and cons for sure. Definitely. I like the stationary idea because people can stop and take pictures and everybody's not trying to lean over each other. But to your point, a lot of people are going to be looking here and maybe not paying attention to where they're walking. So there's good and bad, I think, in both. So it's finding that happy balance, I think.
So since you've seen both, a moving parade and a stationary parade, I know you say it has pros and cons. If you had to choose one, stationary or a mobile parade.
I love a parade. I love a moving parade. I love a Mardi Gras. Like we had Universal Studios does like a Mardi Gras parade, and they throw beads out at everybody, and it's such a fun thing. So I love a good parade, but I also love a good photo op. So I'm torn on those because in the one breath, if it's a standalone where like you have the float set up in certain areas, people can run up and they can, snap a quick picture and they can hashtag it on Instagram and share it because everybody is looking for that great selfie or that great picture, which is awesome. And you can't really do that with the moving parade. But to your point, once the parade is done, people can go back into the streets and they can continue to mingle, or if they've only come for the parade, they can go home.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it's a moving parade, you want to run out there sometimes and take a picture, and then you might get called out by the cops or, don't do that.
Yes. They're like, no, because you don't want to get run over because granted, sometimes the visibility in those floats is not quite what you would think it is. So it's tough for me to say which I prefer because I really do love both.
Yeah. Have you ever crashed a parade and jumped on in and was part of the parade?
Accidentally, yes. Yes, I did.
How do you do that as an accident?
I don't know.
Or was it a funeral?
No, both maybe? Okay, so we did accidentally crash a funeral procession. It was not on purpose. We were driving down the road and somehow the procession, their cars got ahead of us, but there were also still people behind us, and we were just going, and cops were waving us on, so we were like, okay, and then all of a sudden we see them stop, to let the regular traffic go. And I'm like, did we just accidentally we accidentally got into a funeral procession. But we did accidentally get into a parade too, because we were at one of the theme parks and there was a parade going on, and we had stepped down thinking it was the end, and we ended up joining in slightly before the end, so we ended up accidentally joining the parade too. So I guess it was a bonus for both.
Yeah. We crashed a couple of parades knowingly.
Oh, there you go.
In Florida. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yay.
Let's just be in it. It's towards the end. Let's just go.
Yep.
We were at the beginning of the parade, and then when the end came, we're like, well, let's just jump on at the end.
Right.
And we can go through the whole thing. So it was fun. We're like, I don't know you, whatever.
But pretend I'm with you guys and I'm here. Yeah.
I'm representing Pensacola.
Well, that's exciting then to see. I mean, at least they're thinking about different options on how to do it without, it being too crazy. What do you think? Do you think it'd be better off doing a regular moving parade?
Well, I think so, because of, I think that people will be stationary until they leave to get in their car.
Yeah.
Whereas during the parade, they're going to be moving for what, an hour?
Yeah.
Or two, constantly.
Absolutely.
Whereas they stand still for the hour or two, and when it's over, they go home. Or to a bar or whatever.
Or wherever they end up going.
We shall see. And I have a new mini car for the parade too.
What?
Yeah. So I want to drive it. I was supposed to drive it, I got it last year. Couldn't use it last year. May not be able to drive it this year if it's a stationary parade. Okay. So, but we have
I hope it's a moving one so that you can drive the car, because that would, I want to see that happen for you.
I do too. It's a friend of mine rigged lights on it, and like neon lights and everything.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to drive down, because it's cheaper, to pick up a Cauldron that John that goes to Spooky.
Oh, Bad Moon Effects.
Yes. They made 2 Cauldrons I'm dropping everything.
Oh.
They made 2 Cauldrons for me. One to go on the back of this car.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll have a fog machine rig, so it's like whirling and fog's coming out. And so I'm going to Florida to see them and turn around the same day or next day and come back.
Okay.
With Cauldrons. And,
that's awesome. You'll have to tell the boys we actually just saw them last month. We went and had lunch with them out in St. Pete, because they're in like St. Pete, Tampa area.
Yeah. That's awesome. They're great. They're extremely talented.
If I had an ounce of their talent in my little pinky, I'll tell you what, I would be a happy gal.
I would too. I would be there. And the imagination is great. Their imagination is great.
They're so good. I have a good friend of ours, Cheryl, is in the chat, and I know you saw her at Spooky with her big cauldron that Bad Moon Effects made for her. So she says, thanks for stealing my cauldron.
Sharon. Yes, she does. Yes, that's Sharon. I loved your cauldron so much. They made one for me, and that's the second cauldron that I'm going to go pick up. So, this one is a little souped up for what I normally use. It's got it's going to have a place for people to drop money. If they drop coins, it will roll down.
Oh, okay.
Dollar bills will go into the slot. I'll have a bucket rigged up for the money to go into inside the cauldron, and a place to attach a fog machine for it so it will smoke.
Oh.
I'll have, what do you call it? A skeleton hand that's holding up a sign that says "Tips, please," or
I love that.
Yeah. So Sharon, I love you, and tell your son hi for me. Aww. And I did. Yes, that's where I got the idea, because that cauldron was amazing. Cheryl was like, that thing. Yeah. She's like, I heard they're making another one, and I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, for Borah, and I'm like, that's awesome. She's like, I'm not really mad about it. You kidding me?
I'm like, you can't be. She's like, I'm not. I'm so happy.
I'm on the other side of the country. But I
Listen.
will not bring it to spooky. It's just too big.
It's Cauldron Sisterhood, I think, is what that's created. That's created some Cauldron Sisterhood going on.
But I got their name from her, their number from her.
Yes.
I think 2 or 3 years ago, I said, "Hey, I love your Cauldron. Who made it? Oh, John. Can I get their number? Yes."
they
brilliant, talented person that I had to use her idea.
That's awesome. No, it's a I love all of it. I can't wait to see the mini one that they do for the car. I can't wait to see the pictures. I'm sure there's going to be a video, so I'm very excited to see that also. I think it's going to be amazing.
I hope so. I hope they let us drive in the parade.
I hope so. I'm crossing my fingers for you. I'm putting some juju out there that you get to drive it in the parade. All the juju.
We do have Gay Pride coming up, so I don't think that's going to, in September, I don't think that's going to be a stationary parade, although it may be. So if it's not, I'll be able to drive in that one.
I was going to say, you could bust out the inaugural drive in that parade.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! I can't wait. I'm going to have to stalk your Facebook so I can see pictures and video.
Well, there is a video on TikTok of me driving it with the ocean spray bottle. There was one popular video that everybody was doing.
That's right.
One of her songs, and with an ocean spray bottle, and you're either on a skateboard or driving. You're transporting yourself somehow.
Yeah.
So I did it on this mini car, and in the neighborhood, and it's not street legal. But my computer's a cop, and the son's a cop, and everybody knows everybody in Salem, and they've been in Salem for all their lives, and their moms and grandparents, so everybody knows them. So I said, "Hey, Wayne, let's do this," because what happened is he was going to drive the truck. Igor sat on the back to record while I drove any illegal car that's not legal, and he said. So we did it. We didn't get caught, but we had fun doing it.
I'll have to see if I can't find that TikTok. For you guys that are watching the replay of this on YouTube, I'll post that in the description box down below, so you guys can check out that TikTok of him driving around that little mini car. That's so awesome.
When you flip through TikTok, you'll see Borah sitting in a little car.
Ah, perfect. All right, I'm gonna pull that out. Now, I know when we initially started talking earlier, you had mentioned that Salem was kind of like you always wanted to move there, and you guys did it. You made the dream come true. So I've got to ask a couple of questions. When you say that was like your dream spot to live, do you have a particular place that you find yourself going again and again that's like your favorite spot?
I'm not being politically correct.
Okay.
But every spot is literally my favorite spot. We've got the Salem Witch Museum, which is a wonderful museum. I love that place. We've got Red Sandwich Shop, which I keep talking about. I love their food. It's inexpensive, homemade, and you get a lot.
Okay.
I love the Salem Trolley because it stops at every stop in Salem, the Witch Museum, and the Salem Witch Museum, the Witch Dungeon. But I like the Salem Trolley because it just, I just love hearing the history because it talks about the history of Salem and drive around.
Now, is the trolley, do you know if that's ADA compliant? Is that wheelchair accessible?
It is.
Oh, wonderful.
Salem is very progressive in that it accommodates for all walks of life. So yeah, it is compliant. So the Witch Dungeon Museum, I love that one. The Pirate Museum, I love that one. And the Witch House. Yes. The Witch City Consignment Shop, which is a consignment shop, and you can find things there that you can't find in other cities. You have some weird stuff there. Yeah. Which is really cool.
I think I follow the consignment shop on Facebook, and I always get mad because they post such great stuff, and I'm like, I'm not there to go get it.
Well, you should tell me, and I can try to get it. And that will be your excuse to getting here to come and pick it up.
Don't, my husband, if you're watching, you heard nothing.
No. Between now and when we go down in August.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm going to remember that.
Husband, get up your wallet.
That's right. Let me hold on. You already told me I could go shopping. Just saying, no take backsies. No.
So I like Coons. Some store. I love Coons card and gift shop. Where this shirt came from.
Oh, show it off. Oh, a little Borah merch. Do they have an online shop also?
Yeah, the light is washing it out.
Oh, that's a bit better.
Up on to see where the broom takes us.
Which, actually, I'm glad that you brought that up.
There you go.
There you go. How did that come about? I absolutely think that that's the cutest thing in the whole wide world. I adore it. It's the best catch line ever. Where did that come from?
I cannot take credit for that whatsoever. I was in a meeting one time with Haunted Happenings magazine, which is right there. They're on Instagram.
Okay, follow.
They're on Facebook. And so we were talking, and they said, we were just talking. They said, how about a tagline? And then they said that, and I said, that's it.
That's perfect.
And so they gave me permission to use it, so I did. Now, what I'm holding is from Haunted Happenings magazine, and it's a box of all things from it. This is empty. From Salem. So it's if you order it, depending on what's available, you can get all kinds of goodies from Salem.
Ooh,
and they have this online. They have a store online. Haunted Happenings magazine. I'll have to look and see or send it to you.
I'll see if I can't find it, and I'll link that down below in the description box also for you guys.
Bad. I should know what it is. My God. But it comes in a beautiful box. And they have a magazine that they put out every towards the end of September, and it's called Haunted Happenings Magazine.
Oh, nice.
And these are coveted magazines. Everybody loves the covers. People collect these covers. There's several people, fans of theirs, that have wallpapered their wall in like their den or bedroom.
Yeah.
With these magazines over the years.
Oh, wow.
But what's in this magazine is everything. Oh, now speaking of, here's some of their covers here from the years past.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's filled with what's going on in Salem during October.
Okay, so you can use it kind of like as your little guide of what's going to be happening, and you can use that to kind of map out your schedule.
Yeah, it's your guide. Yeah, and tells you about all the stores and different things like that, and history facts. And
oh, wow.
And, I think this cover was designed by, she got a new designer. She uses different designers at different times.
Okay.
So depending on what they're going for.
Yeah.
And I believe that Luna Moon, Nathan from Luna Moon Gothic designed this cover.
Oh, that's awesome. We love them.
Yeah, they're awesome. They also, Haunted Happenings magazine also did a couple of coloring contests, and Luna drew those pictures for Haunted Happenings magazine.
Oh, that's right. I remember her posting about that. I forgot about that. That's awesome. And they moved up there too not too long ago.
They did, and they've been really busy, and they've got the dogs, so they're focused on the dogs, trying to get settled, and her store is just blowing up, and if I could show theirs, here's some pins of hers that she's designed and manufactured. This is this is weird. Okay, this is, how do you do this?
You're
this
good.
Is one of the signs coming into Salem, Salem, and it has glitter on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then this is everybody's favorite, the Witch House, which is where one of the judges lived during the Salem witch trial.
No, she's all of her pins and stuff. She does have an online shop for those of you that are interested. It's Luna Moon Gothic. Find her on Facebook, Instagram. Check her out. I have tons of her pins. myself, I love her stuff. It's amazing. And she always sends little goodies with her stuff. So definitely check her out. And then check out also Haunted Happenings magazines. And I'll link everything down below in the description box.
She packs it with lots of cool stuff.
She does.
Free gifts or free
little like extra things and glitter bombs. She will glitter bomb you. Just be wary.
She will. Let me see. So yeah, she does. And what else? She's now becoming the she's selling pins, and celebrities are buying her stuff. Like
yes,
Jennifer Tilly bought something last year, and Biden's advisor, I think it was, bought one of her.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, you go, girl.
She's doing fantastic. I'm so happy for her. She's blowing up for sure.
And just in case, back to the Haunted Happenings magazine, if anybody wants a copy, they usually do. I don't know if it's changed or not. If you go to Haunted Happenings magazine on Facebook or Instagram and send a private message, they may be able to send a copy.
I'm making myself a note.
Make a note. I was trying to find their...
Making myself a note.
But when these boxes go on sale for Haunted Happenings magazine, you got to grab them because they fly like that.
Oh, I can imagine.
Hand chosen items, hand packed and limited edition, and then they go. So you have to once a month or send a message and ask when they'll be out.
So definitely keep your eyes open for that. And if you see it available and you want one, don't sit on it. Grab it.
Grab it.
Grab it right then and there. Now, I do have some questions coming in from the chat, but I also have some additional questions, and some of these kind of tie in. Now, you mentioned that we talked a little bit, you do some weddings. I know you also do other appearances. Do you do like hospital visits as well?
I've been asked to, but I no, I haven't. I think that would be a little too much for kids. Kids love this witch. But I don't know, they don't feel good when they're in the hospital. So yeah, they need to pick me up.
Right.
But, you've got this character that's loud and I can pull back. I know when to pull back. I don't know how it would go over.
It might not be the best time.
Yeah. But people say, do it.
Yes.
One day maybe.
Okay. Now for your weddings, or do you also do like appearances? Do you do like birthdays and other fun things too?
I've done a couple of birthdays, yes. Okay. Those can be kind of interesting because the kids will be like, pulling and pushing,
touching and
yeah, and it's like, I want to have fun with you, but let's play kind fun, not that they're mean, but I have done some birthday parties. Yeah. But not all.
Now I know you book up pretty fast for weddings. How far in advance do folks need to get in touch with you if they're planning to ask you to either, because I know you do like vow renewals, you officiate weddings as well. So if I were to say, hey, I want to do a vow renewal, like how far in advance should I reach out to you?
Well, it all depends on when you want it. So October is pretty much dead now. Booked. Yeah. Solid. I may be able to squeeze in a few spots.
Okay.
But I'm booking now through 2023.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So to reserve a spot, a deposit of half of the total would be due, and an agreement. So sign a signed agreement, because I just can't hold us. I've never had a cancellation, but I can't take that chance because people want to book. So yeah.
Okay.
So in advance, just as soon as you can, as soon as you get the idea, give me the date, and we can go
figure it out. Now, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? Do you have an email address, Facebook, web? I know you've got the website. Is that probably the best way?
Yeah, they can reach out through my Facebook page, Salem's Black Hat Society.org, or Salem's Black Hat Society on Facebook.
Yeah, and then
Instagram. Yep.
There's a website.
they can go to that website there, salemsblackhatsociety.org, and they can send a message. Information for ceremonies is on salemsblackhatsociety.org. So they can just, send me a message any way possible that they can find, and we will respond to them.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys are interested in having Borah officiate, get on that, shoot that message over, get that worked out so that we can make it happen. Well, how did the weddings thing happen, by the way? How did that come to be? Because I'm not, like, I love Borah, and I can only imagine the things that Borah would say at a wedding for some nuptials. So how did that come to be?
Well, it came the year that I started Borah in 2016. Someone asked me, do you do weddings? And I'm like, yeah, I do weddings.
I do
yes,
now.
I do weddings. Yeah, so I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do here now? So I said, well, I needed to learn about this couple. So I send questions to the couple about how they met, if they had dogs or children, what they like or dislike about each other, their favorite Halloween character, favorite Halloween movies. And then I take all this information and I write the ceremony and I rewrite it. And I rehearse it and I rewrite it. And it's not just something I pull out of my back end and just jot something down and do.
Right.
A lot of thought, energy, and time goes into each and every ceremony. And I can incorporate hand fasting cords and broom jumps in those ceremonies.
Okay.
I have characters, you name it, any Halloween character, I can involve them in as a ring bearer or
nice.
They can walk the bride or groom down the aisle. They can anything. So that's how it came about. Someone asked me, and I said sure. And the first few, I didn't know what I was doing, and now it's so much fun. It was fun then. It's fun now.
Now you've got that system down and a little bit more fine-tuned, so that you can kind of, what you're looking for and how to kind of get that layout and everything else right, just right for that couple.
Exactly, and it's a formula that I've formulated now that kind of guides me along, but still they're all individualized because of the questions. And,
right.
And I ask them from a rate of 1 to 10, 1 being conservative.
Okay.
I don't do this weddings.
Right.
1 being conservative, like not risque, all the way to being downright dirty. Nasty, risky, let your hair down, get into the dark secrets and embarrass you. Most of it is like an 8.
Okay.
To a 9. I've had a couple of 10s, and boy, those are a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet. Because then you could just kind of let go.
Yeah, because with my ceremonies, people can be themselves. They can dress however they want to, and no one has to worry about, okay, so when it comes to me saying my vows or tying the hand fasting cord, how do you do it? No, it's none of that. I guide you right along. Oh. If somebody, forgets or freezes, so I have the ceremony that I follow that's written, and I also improvise, and I just keep everybody to get on page, and it is a lot of fun. No one has to be stressed out about anything.
That's wonderful.
And I have resources, photographers for them to choose from, bakery for wedding cake, bakeries for wedding cakes, florists, the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And when we do them outside, we can do them pretty much anywhere outside, on the ocean, by the bay, not in a cemetery because it's against the law, but beside a cemetery.
Okay.
Anywhere. And so those locations are free. You don't have to do paperwork.
Okay.
So we just show up and we do it.
Oh, so you don't have to deal with like a venue and spending $1 million on a building that you're going to stand in for 20 minutes. You can just kind of go out by the ocean or a field or whatever and just kind of go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Most of the couples are from out of town. I do have our Salem residents, but a lot of people have come from out of town.
Oh, I bet. I got Cheryl, a couple of people chiming in today. What about a wedding parade? That would be a neat thing.
A wedding
Could you
parade?
imagine doing like having a couple just go, let's just do a parade? That's a permit thing and a whole other thing, I think.
That would be a lot of time and a permit, but I do want to do a mass wedding.
That would be fun.
And you know where would be a lot of fun to do it.
Where?
Spooky.
That would be so. We've had a couple of weddings at Spooky, which I always love when it happens. I know. Yes. So I'm just saying, any Spooky Empire people out there, we'll have to figure out when Borah next comes. Maybe you guys can figure something out. That would be fun.
It would be a lot of fun. Or wedding vow renewal.
Yes.
Baby
I mean,
gender
I've
reveal.
been married for like 2 years. Well, it'll be 2 years, but we can always renew. There's no set time on when you have to do these things, right? You can just do them
No,
whenever.
not. Perfect example. There's a couple in California that when on October 31st, I surprised them with the engagement ring for him to engage his
Her.
girlfriend. So there was a wedding engagement. Then the following year, we were going to fly out to California, and I was going to do their wedding. Then COVID came, so that
Oh.
canceled. And then they had to do a little quickie in California.
Yeah.
Actually, they went to Las Vegas because for
Vegas.
whatever reason. But that was last year. They're coming this year.
Oh,
And we're going to
nice.
do a wedding vow renewal, a
Yay.
1-year wedding vow renewal.
Oh, husband, make it happen.
Yeah, there's no time limits on these at all.
Oh, I love that. I think that's so awesome. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
They're a lot of fun.
Now, you're involved in like all the things from, working with the city on certain aspects. You're really involved with the community and giving back. And I know on your website, you've got a couple of charities and things that you work with. So just to kind of showcase some of them up here, how did you get involved with some of these charities? Like what kind of sparked that? Because you're such a sweet person. I can imagine it was just second nature for you to go, I'm giving back.
I appreciate it. So how did I get involved with that? Well, when we lived in Fort Lauderdale, we used to throw these massive Halloween parties. We would decorate every inch of the house, and we would have valets that would come and park cars, and you had to come in costume. I'm going to come back to that question.
Okay.
And then we had a doorman or a door lady, and if you weren't in costume, you couldn't get in. But people knew when they came, they had to come in costume. So we would take donations to donate to children's charity. So which led to the name Salem's Black Hat Society, like the Red Hat Society.
Okay.
And I said, if I'm going to do this, I have to donate to a children's charity in Salem, keep it at home.
Yeah.
The first few years, figure out what's going on. So I just Googled children's charities in 2016. And so the Salem's Children's Charity is a foundation that people donate to. And it's for kids that would need eyeglasses,
Okay.
or shoes, or clothes, food, something. And then money, when they put in the request, it is like less than an hour, the money's available.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then there was the Plummer House for boys, and it's a beautiful old home on the ocean. They take in wayward kids,
Okay.
boys, and they teach them, they try to teach them the right way to be in life.
Yeah.
And most of them end up graduating college.
Oh, wow. So it's a good place that they can get some guidance and some direction, and that's
Exactly.
wonderful.
Role models. And then there was NAGLI, which is the LGBT. There's a lot more acronyms. I am lost.
There's a lot of acronyms now.
So the LGBT, transgender, all-inclusive community here in Salem, non-for-profit. So now I used to do children's charities. Now a children's charity in Salem. Now I'm trying to share the love a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I branched out to these other two organizations. They are, so I found them by Googling and asking around.
Okay.
And when I busk in October, I take a portion of that money, and that's when I donate it to a children's charity. or a charity in Salem.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I love that you're so involved with the community and is, giving back, and just I think that's such a wonderful thing, and I wish more people would get involved with their communities and with giving back, especially when they're in the type of position that you are with busking, and you've got this wonderful character that is very well known, and it warms my little black heart.
I'm glad you have a black heart.
It's in there somewhere.
You wouldn't have it any other way. But one of the most recent things that we did was I got there's over, I think this year in our busker meeting with the town, with the city, there's like over 170 applicants.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're up 30 applicants or 50 applicants from the previous year.
Wow.
So, anyway, so there's a group of us that are locals, that are regulars, and so I got all of them together, about 12 of us, and there was some graffiti on Essex Street, the pedestrian that I was talking about earlier, on trash cans, graffiti on trash cans and mailboxes.
Oh.
The city donated, the Department of Waterworks donated spray to remove it, and supplies to scrub the graffiti. Home Depot donated stuff, some Dunkin' Donuts donated some food or donuts and coffee, and one of the local pizza shops, George's Pizza, which is our favorite pizza here in Salem.
Okay.
Pizza, and so we just scrubbed some of the graffiti off. So, and the mayor came by, Mayor Kim Driscoll, we love her. She came by and thanked us with our new chief of police.
Nice.
Chief. Oh my God, he's new. Can't remember his name right now. And Ellen and M is somewhere in his name. Anyway, so they came by, and Ty Hapworth, who's a city councilor, and this is probably boring to you guys because you don't know these people.
No, it's okay. Shout them all out.
So everybody came and thanked us, which was really nice. And Ty has an Instagram called Hello Salem.
Okay.
He's a photographer also, and he does a lot of my weddings.
I have someone logged in under Salem's Black Hat. I'm assuming it's your other half, saying that it's Chief Lucas Miller.
Thank you. Yes, that's Igor. Thank you, Igor.
Yes.
Chief Miller. Hey, Igor, if you can hear me, can you look up Haunted Happenings Magazine's store site so we can put that out there? Because I feel like I'm not knowing.
Thank you so much. No, but I do. I love that you're so involved in that and keeping the city, beautiful and a lovely place to visit and a place to work for you guys as well and live, really.
Yeah. Salem would not be Salem without the buskers.
Oh, I can imagine not.
All year long.
Now, you also have a book out, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, look, you've got that right. You were ready for this one.
I am always I try to be ready. It's called Borah's Book of Pitiful Poems and Pictures.
Oh, is it really pitiful though, or is that just like a tag to sell it?
A lot of these are pitiful.
Oh no!
But the pictures are not pitiful, and you know the artist. Let me see. He is Zombie Dog.
Oh wow!
Zombie Dog 43.
Nice.
I don't know if his name out, but it's Steve, and he sells sculptures at Spooky.
Okay, that's wow, small world.
Yeah, it's he's generally 2 years ago he was not that anybody would remember. The coffee shop of Horace.
Yes.
He was right near them against the wall.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would love to if I can be presumptuous and read a poem.
Yes. Story time.
Now, Borah wrote this book, and but they came from my memories and things that I love. So I have some personal poems in here. Okay. Some about Charlie Brown, a poem about Salem, a poem about some memories of growing up during October, and growing up in Halloween night. Things that I'm afraid of, the Headless Horseman, different stuff like this. But this poem, remember in the 1800s, they would bury people, and sometimes they would bury them alive, and they would tie a string to their finger.
So if they were still alive and they woke up,
and they would ding, 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 ring the bell.
Yes.
Right? So that's what this one is about.
Okay.
This one is called Tomb, Sweet Tomb. Cold, quiet, and damp, smelly, tight, and cramped. Spiders, worms, and lots of germs. No room to move or squirm. My finger has a ring tied to a string. I pull the bell, scream and yell, and all I hear is silence. Thank goodness. Up there, there's too much violence. I guess I'm doomed. I'll make myself at home, because now this is Tomb, Sweet Tomb.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. There you go, right there. That's perfect. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's perfect.
Mad Dog 43 is a brilliant artist.
Whoops. There you go. Wow. Those are beautiful. I'll see if I can't find his site and link that as well for everybody.
They're on Amazon.com.
Okay.
And also Salem'sBlackHatSociety.org. If you get them from Salem'sBlackHatSociety.org, you can request an autograph or whatever.
Does Borah sign it?
People ask, and you can request something, or if you don't know, just say, I will write some kind of bullcrap in there, or Borah will write something. So yeah, and there a lot of stores have this book here in Salem.
Okay.
The Peabody Essex Museum here in Salem, which is the nation's the oldest continuously running museum in the U.S.
Wow.
They in their bookstore. I'm very honored about that.
How long has this book been out, and why have I not heard about it until yesterday?
It's out about a year.
Okay, that's probably, I've been under a rock apparently. Oh my, I'll have to get a copy. I love the poem.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. And and I am working on another book.
Yay!
This one is a kid's book.
Okay.
And actually, it takes place in Christmas, during Christmas, and so I'm looking for an artist.
Okay.
Yep. I love Steve's work. So I'm exploring Steve, and I will explore Steve and other artists. But I want it to be softer for kids. This is for kids.
Kids. Okay.
Yeah. This adult. The book of poems is a little risque in certain parts. But a lot of my followers raise their kids to be like hip and it's all cool. It doesn't matter. Let's let them read the book of poems, Borah's book. So
yeah. Okay.
Kids read it too, but this Christmas book is
more
really
for
good.
the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if anybody is interested and knows an artist, send me their information.
I'm gonna send you some.
Okay.
I know some.
Right.
I'll send you some later. That's fantastic. So I'm so happy. So they can get it through your shop, through Salem's Black Hat Society. They've got it there locally. So if you're in town, you can snag a copy. But you also have an Etsy shop.
Yes, it's Borah Porium.
I love it.
.etsy.com. And so I make some of the stuff, and I have other people that make some of the stuff. And I've been doing these reeds lately.
Oh, wow. Those are pretty.
These are dried leaves, and some have shells on them, some have crystals on them.
Oh.
And then I have a local witch that blesses these reeds. This is a 12-inch wreath, I think. And then I have these little 6-inch wreaths here. This one has a pentagram on it.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's beautiful.
And this is from my line called Toad and Sage.
I love the name, and I love the wreaths. They're so pretty.
Thank you. And this is a tag that was designed. I hate the glare.
You almost had it. There you go.
The tag is made, each tag is handmade.
Oh, wow.
It was designed by the folks at Haunted Happenings magazine.
Oh, okay.
And this one has some dried flowers and seashells on it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then each of my reeds, the 12-inch reeds, have 12 or 14-inch, they're whatever size. It's on borahpoem.etsy.com, the size and
Okay.
the wreath. Each one has a little hidden something in the wreath that you have to look for when you get it. And you'll
Okay.
know when you see it. Yeah.
Okay. I'll also link that down below in the description for those of you guys watching the replay.
Thank you. And then I have this beautiful, these sage bundles with
Oh,
dried
wow.
flowers. And some come with this is an orange selenite and
Okay.
charm. Some are clear selenites
Oh,
with a
wow.
charm, and some have the different varieties there.
Okay.
And then what I started carrying is Cat's Meow is out of Ohio, and they make iconic buildings and landmarks
Okay.
out of wood that you can set up like a village.
Oh,
And
wow.
so they have
Right there. Right there. Don't move. Right there is perfect.
These are much prettier in person. The colors are bold and bright and beautiful, and it's got the history of the house or
On the back there.
back. Yeah, we have the House of Seven Gables, which is another favorite spot of mine here in Salem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we have the Witch House. We have one of the cemeteries here in Salem.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Then they made a Borah.
I love it. Yeah, I love those. Those are so neat.
They are really cool, and you can just. And then I have some Halloween pieces too that they sell, that I sell. That's made by Cat's Meow. This is the Hocus.
There you go.
Hocus
Aww.
shop in a haunted house. These are just so much fun.
Oh, I love those. This would be great to start like your own little collection and make your own little village out of.
You can bring your favorite Salem buildings home.
Yes.
So the lady that runs this store, we became pretty good friends over the social media.
Yeah.
So we are coming out, she's coming out with some new designs in Salem, and I encourage her. I'm like, can you make some, other buildings or houses or the Samantha statue with the fall flavor?
There you go.
New pieces that are coming out, and that I'll be carrying, and maybe some other stores will be carrying, I'm sure, here in Salem. And it's the Cat's Meow on Instagram.
Okay.
So check out other pieces.
We'll have to find her also. Now there's got a couple of quick questions, and then see if anybody's got any questions in the chat. Go ahead and pop them in there now. I ask this of all of my guests because it's always my fun question to see where your fandom kind of lies. So, what is your favorite horror movie?
Halloween.
The original Halloween or the remake Halloween?
No. Why does this dummy that's been in the prison forever know how to drive a car? There's so many questions.
You're not wrong, because I think pretty much everybody asked that question the minute he got out and got in the car and went for his ride was, how did he know how to drive a car? For being that long in prison since he was a little itty bitty, how does he know how to work anything?
And you get the sense that this place is a small little town that he's in. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's just creeping along the road in this little station wagon like a freak, and nobody bats an eye.
Nope. Nobody seems to like pay attention at all, which is, to your point, it seems like it's a small town, so it's quite weird that nobody would be like, that's an asylum car. That's not one of ours.
You think that they would all be gossiping like Edward Scissorhands, all the residents.
Yes.
Edward Scissorhands. Not one person in Halloween.
Nope.
What's your favorite scene in Halloween? If you have one. You probably hate that movie. I don't know.
No, I absolutely adore. I watch Halloween way more often than I should. There's a lot of scenes that I have with her. I love the scene with who is Annie, when she's going to pick up Paul and she starts singing and she's in her like shirt and her underwear after she had to change, and she's like, "Oh, Paul," and she's like, she goes out to the car to open it and there's no keys, and then she goes back and gets her keys and meets her untimely demise. That the whole setup in that scene is probably one of my favorite things in that movie.
My favorite scene, if I could say, is
Yes.
when the detective and the cop were in Michael Myers' house, snooping
Yes.
around, and then all of a sudden the light hit the window. Bam! I don't know my favorite scene, but my least favorite scene, and I think most people's least favorite scene, is the little doggy when he went bye-bye.
Listen, I can watch somebody get butchered, like gutted, eaten. It doesn't matter. I don't care about people. All right. I don't care about movie, like people in film. Like if it's a horror movie, in my opinion, you should all die anyway. And I'm okay with that. Leave the dog alone.
Exactly. A dog can't defend itself.
No.
Really, doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. But a person, they're just mean people sometimes, and they can defend themselves. There's a dog. Come on.
95% of the time when you see the animal, you know that animal is probably gonna die, and it sucks. And I always I have to kind of look away, or even if they don't show it and they imply it with just like the yelp, I can't handle it. I can't.
Well, you're in Florida, Disney World. Igor and I watched the House of Seven Gables, the Swiss Family Robinson.
Yes.
They have all those animals, and I feel sorry for them because if today those animals were treated the way they treated them when they made Swiss Family Robinson in the 60s, I think it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
They kind of abused those animals.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny how most people tend to side with the animal and not the people.
It's interesting.
And
Speaking of a dog, I want another dog. Igor, I hope you're listening.
Get a puppy.
Just trying to put little hints in there.
Get a cute puppy. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've got established that your favorite Halloween movie is Halloween, which I see what you did there. What about your favorite Halloween candy?
I'm gonna let you guess. I'm getting a tattoo.
Oh, let's see. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. This is gonna tie into your question.
Oh, okay.
This is a bowl of candy. You can't really see.
I know.
it.
I'm looking as hard at my screen. I'm sorry, everybody.
There's you really can't see it. There's a bowl of candy here. There's some Reese's cups. There's a candy corn. There's a Tootsie Roll. There's a lollipop. But one of my favorite candy is you can't really see it.
Is that the wax teeth?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Wax teeth.
Oh, I used to love those.
There's a lollipop or a can't really see it. There's a blow pop.
Yep, there it is.
The Reese's cup. That's my favorite.
Oh.
A bitten Reese's cup there.
I do love a good Reese's.
Frozen.
Oh, and they're nice and cold. They're so good. All right, so are you a fan of candy corn? I'm probably the only person alive that not alive, but I'm probably one of the only people that I know that actually enjoys candy corn. Candied pumpkins, candy corn. I don't know what it is, but I eat the stuff straight. That's my little Halloween treat is candy corn.
Do you like popcorn?
I do.
Do me a favor. Go to the theater, buy some buttered popcorn if you like butter on your popcorn, and mix some candy corn in it.
Ooh.
Try it out. Sweet and salty.
That is a good idea.
The reason I say this is because I like throwing chocolate chip morsels in.
Yes. Oh. All right, so I got a couple of people chime in. Kimberly, Michael Burnett's child Mitch, they all love candy corn. Okay, so I'm not the only one that likes some candy corn. I appreciate that. The mix sounds good. There are a lot of, you know what? My husband is a big Reese's fan, so half the time if I go to the store without him, if I'm grocery shopping, I'll bring him home a Reese's. I'll just kind of slide it over and be like, here you go, honey. Here's your treat. Have some Reese's. I love Reese's. I do. I don't think there's a candy that I don't like except black licorice, but anything else I'm game.
I don't
It's
like
so gross.
yeah.
I do got a couple of questions chiming in from the chat asking, are you going to, or did you get to appear? I don't know if they've even started filming yet. Are you doing anything with the new Hocus Pocus film?
So Hocus Pocus, no, we don't know anything yet. We don't even know
Okay.
if they're going to film here. We don't
Okay.
know nothing.
Okay. I could have swore I read somewhere that they did, but I mean, you live there. You would know
Well,
better than I would.
there was a rumor going around because they changed directors.
Oh.
Then it kind of rolled over. Yeah, we're changing directors and we're coming to Salem to film. So I don't know. No one knows.
Okay.
But you know,
There's always a chance somewhere.
yeah.
I mean, I was so funny. What did we watch the other night? Hubie Halloween. And we're sitting there watching it, and I'm like, that's Borah. I'm like, okay. And then we kept watching. I kept picking you out in the background of like any crowd scene. I was so happy. How did that come about?
That's it. So my coworker said, "Oh, they're going to film this movie here. They're looking for extras." So there was contact information on there, and so they said send a request for an audition. So I sent him. Borah sent a message like, "I don't even know why I'm doing this. You guys are annoying. You know, this is the way I feel about it. You know, I want to do this movie. And Adam Sandler. Whatever. And welcome to Salem. You're gonna hate it here, and I hope I don't run into you because I will eat you up, spit you out. I don't even know what I said.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
So the casting director, Judy, she called because you had to leave your note. She says, "Who the hell are you?" I'm Ryan. Who is Borah? I'm in love with this person. I said, well, it's not a person, So anyway, so she said you have to come and audition. So when I went there to audition, I was dumb. I wore one of the heaviest
one of the hot ones.
Fur everywhere. Real fur everywhere. No offense
wow.
to anyone. I do buy it at the secondhand store. And then I walked into this audition. We had to take a number, and there were 1,000 people there. I don't know.
Wow.
There were so many people there. And they had them broken. And then it was in a huge gymnasium, and they were broken up into groups sitting over here, and people were taking pictures lined up, like 5 photographers taking pictures of these groups of people. So she was standing there, Judy, and when I walked in, and I stay in character the whole time, before I could say, and I wasn't going to interrupt, she said, "Hold up, there's my witch." And so I was kind of embarrassed, but I was like, "Well, this is kind of cool here."
Like I just got called out.
Stopped and brought me in front of everybody and said, "Here's the paperwork, fill it out, and when you finish, go stand over there and have a picture taken." And then somebody came over there. And then afterwards, she said to me, after we were filming, she said, that was the assistant director that went up to you and was asking, where are you from? And all that. It was really a really cool experience. You didn't ask about this. I'm talking too much. Just tell me to shut up.
I did ask about it. Talk about it.
This deep. It was so much fun. So I ended up being a featured extra, and so I knew a lot of people that were from Salem and Marblehead, the next town over. There was Marblehead. They were in the movie, and they were like wanting to take pictures, and they had me over there in the corner, and they're like, "Don't go near. Stop. What are you doing? Don't go over there. You can't take pictures of him." And they were like, "Well, we know him.
This is our friends."
They're like, "No," and I'm like, and I was embarrassed because I felt bad. So I did not have to go through hair and makeup.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, and it was just so much fun. I did get to meet Adam Sandler. He looked at me twice and he said something 2 different days. I worked 7 days, 6 as Borah.
Wow.
And it was just so much fun. I can't tell you. And then when we came here to film in Salem, they had to drive us over to the filming location, and it was the night that they shot in the Witch Museum.
Oh, okay.
The Witch Museum, and that scene is where the old lady, Adam, gives her a piece of paper to read, and
yes,
that was in the Salem Witch Museum, and right across from there is the park.
Yeah.
the common, and that's where they did one of the scenes there. The point is, I don't know why I did this. We pulled up, and they had the police blocking all of these Salemites, people that from other towns, on the other side of the barrier.
Right.
And so myself and another busker named Famous Zombie, we got out of this vehicle and we started walking, over there towards the people. And I'm like, what the? How do you get to do this? And so I said, hey, yay! And they all went, hey! Started screaming and hollering. And it was just like, we were just like screaming and hollering at each other because everybody was so excited that they were here in Salem filming. All these stars, like,
Right.
You name it, they were in this stupid, this crazy movie. It was just a lot of fun.
It looked like it was fun. It looked like in the scenes that you were in, it looked like you were having such a good time.
They were told the parade scene sort of at the beginning where the news girl.
Yes.
They were supposed to do a parade, and Borah was supposed to be the mascot in the parade and lead the parade, but they needed so many extras, it was
too much almost.
That they wanted to spend.
Ah, okay.
That's why there was not a moving parade and a bunch of people watching the parade.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I was like, dang it. But in that scene, there's Borah split. There's Borah twice.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, what the heck is that about? And then there's like a couple other scenes, and then in front of the restaurants, one of the restaurants here in Salem, Borah. It was just a lot of fun. I
was so happy when I saw you. I was just like, I know Borah. I know that face. I know that witch anywhere.
The weird thing is that movie came out during COVID.
Yes.
And there was this radio announcer that kept, almost like a narrator that kept speaking about Halloween night.
Yes.
And in there, it said that Salem's going to be shut down for Halloween. Something about Salem being shut down on Halloween. And because of COVID, it was shut down for Halloween. It was toward the middle end of the movie.
I'll have to rewatch it and see if I can catch that. I didn't catch that the first watch through.
Yeah, listen to it. It's the radio narrator.
Okay.
Free voice. And talks about Salem being shut down for Halloween.
Okay.
Because this came out, they did not write that in there for that, I know.
Wow.
Oh, and then Judy and I became, friendly with one another, and she could invite one person to the casting party afterward.
Did you go?
She asked me to go. She said her boyfriend couldn't come. She said, "Would you be my escort?" And I said, "Yes, I will be your escort." So it was really cool. It was at Opus, which is one of our local favorite restaurants here, and the security guard there. I knew the security guard because he works there. And they came up with Judy, and he was there. He's like, dude, I'm like, this is so cool. It was just an experience that I will never forget.
Oh, it's that makes me so happy that you had such a great experience and that you were able to go to the casting party. That's awesome.
I was like in shock when she asked.
I mean, it's like at that point, if they went through your mind, you're like, would I even say no to this? Like, why is this a question? You just say, hey, we're going, okay.
Exactly.
There's a couple of people chiming in that they're green with envy. Kimberly LeVere. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time, and I appreciate you so much coming on tonight and just kind of hanging out with me and chatting and kind of getting to know you a little bit better. I know a lot of people know you from the character, so it's nice to get underneath the skin, so to speak.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
So, now, do you have anything coming up special? Who do you have anybody fun coming on anytime soon? Or?
So I've got a couple of things going on, just to kind of let everybody know, and you know as well, the cat is about to be out of the bag. So we're working on streaming across multi-platforms. Yes. So instead of just YouTube, we're looking at also streaming across Facebook, YouTube, obviously, and Twitch. So we're going to be streaming through all three platforms. I'm working on that currently, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that next week. which my guest for next week kind of ties into you in a way because they're very well known in the Halloween community. They're a group that I have been listening to since I was a baby goth, as it were. We use their music for our haunts. A lot of haunts use their music for a haunt. So next week, live right here on Horror Happenings at 8 p.m., we have none other than Midnight Syndicate. We will have Ed and Gavin will be on the show.
Whoa! Are you serious?
I am so excited to have these guys on. They just put out a new live album, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to kind of pick their brains a little bit and kind of get to know them a little bit. So I'm so excited to...
I can't believe that. You nailed that one.
Girl, honey, I am...
Fine, whatever.
I am just ecstatic. So if you guys are big fans of Midnight Syndicate, if you guys are big fans of Halloween and haunted attractions, and you go through and you hear that creepy music, 9 times out of 10, it's probably something by Midnight Syndicate.
When are they going to be on?
So they're going to be on next Wednesday, a week from today, which is, why can't I think of dates? The 23rd. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be on YouTube for sure, and I'm hoping that by next Wednesday we'll be through all 3 platforms with Facebook and Twitch as well as right here.
I'm glad you're growing like that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
The other social media platforms and getting Midnight Syndicate on here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And so happy. I got a couple of people. So Midnight Syndicate's the soundtrack of my soul, 100%. So
played at my funeral.
Yes, absolutely yes. Their music has inspired quite a few things, and we've used them for our home haunt and stuff. So I'm very excited.
It's like the bloodline of Halloween.
I mean, honestly, they kind of are. They kind of really are. So, I mean, if you guys are Halloween and haunt fans and you do not know or not familiar with Midnight Syndicate, check them out. They're on Spotify and all iHeartRadio, like all those things. Give them a listen. They're definitely very gothy. Some of their stuff is very creepy. Born of the Night is probably my favorite album by them. I am very partial. I know my husband's a big fan as well. So, yeah, so thank you for asking and thank you so much for coming on. We'll have to do this again sooner than later, of course.
Do you ever do the interviews at Spooky? Because that would be a fun place. Just to sit there and rag on people, have them come up and talk to us. Maybe something to think about. There's some. We'll talk.
There's some things that I'm working on and some plans that I've got. So
let's chat.
We'll chat. You and I will chat about those things. I love plotting.
I cannot wait to get back to Spooky Empire. Oh my God.
I will speak for pretty much everyone that you ran into at Spooky and say that everyone has greatly missed you. You were the first time you came to Spooky in May. I think it was a spring show, and I think it was a March show or something like that. And you had your bathing suit costume on, which is like fabulous, by the way. Absolutely love it. But you encompass that character and you do such a phenomenal job that everybody just gravitated to you, and you truly were the highlight for that weekend.
I appreciate it. That's a lot. Thank you.
You were pretty much like most of what everybody talked about was like, did you see Borah? I was like, yes, I did. I love me some Borah, and I mean, you could walk in and hear you anywhere, and everybody could find you, and you really were such a highlight, and a lot of people, very, very much want you to come back.
I appreciate it. I love just freaking people out, scaring people, just talking to everybody, and the celebrities. I love ragging on them.
They're fun.
Like 99% of them get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun.
Absolutely.
Let you take them with you. Bitch, you gotta pay me.
Yes.
No. So I have a lot of fun with the celebrities too. So
Yes.
so much fun.
Well,
with everybody.
I'm definitely gonna hold you to coming back and visiting us at Spooky because
I am there. And
you're
when something horrible happens, I am there. I mean, I miss Steven, I miss Kim.
Yeah.
You, everybody, dementia, everybody, everybody, and
Aww.
we can't list everybody's names because
there's a lot of us.
I'm trying to get Igor to come.
Come, husband, come. You have to come.
He has no idea. I'm trying to get Something Happenings magazine to come too.
Yes, I think it would be. They would fit right in. Absolutely. I think it would be good. I think your husband would have a good time.
He would.
I think it would be a lot of fun.
He's a little bit of an introvert.
That's okay.
But, he'll be fine.
That'll be his peopling for the year.
Yes.
which I can understand. I got a couple of people. Danny Pintaro. Yes, Danny Pintaro loved you so much.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Cheryl.
Cheryl. Yeah, Danny Pintaro. I had that little bathing suit on that you were talking about, and
yes.
I was at the pool, and somebody started humping me in the back, and I'm like, oh, let's do it. I mean, we had so much fun.
Oh, it was.
He was a great guy.
He was definitely a very fun guy. It's always fun when the guests come out and hang out at like the little after party and just kind of chill,
and just be themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're just people. So I think yeah, Cheryl is offering to take Igor under her wing and to hang out with him while you go be social so that they can kind of hang together.
Thank you. We had thought about getting a booth. We were going to do a booth last year, so we might get a booth. So Cheryl, maybe you guys can hang out at the booth or something.
You can be booth babes.
Booth babes.
Yes, that would be fun. Do like photo ops and stuff at the booth.
Yeah, I was gonna bring some products too. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, you should. You should absolutely. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl, for the offer.
Might be taking you up on that. Just saying, Igor's not wearing a Speedo.
I am not wearing a Speedo. I'm thinking about getting another a special bathing suit built for my trip.
Nice. You should.
Because you gotta do the pool party. Hello.
Oh, I got somebody asking. Okay, so this is a good one. So it says, Salem, you have a statue of Samantha. Now, when are we gonna see a statue of Borah?
Oh, you're right.
Should happen.
I do not think so.
Somebody commission that and put that in right now.
Universe.
Make it happen, universe. I'm gonna put that out there. Just saying.
Oh, so a lot of these witches would be like probably upset,
They might be, but you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. They're gonna be all right. There's a couple people. Make it happen.
You guys are too much.
See, there's all the love.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No. Well, we appreciate you, and just let me plug your website here one more time. That's salemsblackhatsociety.org. You are also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, correct?
TikTok too.
And TikTok. I always forget, okay, so I don't TikTok very well. I'm just learning it. So I'm trying to get into it. So I always forget about it.
You will be addicted to it. Give yourself a couple of nights to sit in bed watching it if you do have your phone.
Oh, I do. I watch it.
And Igor does not have an addictive personality, but he watches TikTok.
It's like a rabbit hole. You get trapped. You start watching one thing and you're down the rabbit hole, and before you know it, it's 3 a.m. and you got to work in 2 hours. Just saying.
Well, they have beauty tip classes. They have cooking classes. Not only is it just for entertainment, they also have educational.
Oh, absolutely. There's this guy that I watch, and he's what's he call himself? The Korean dad. And I love him so much because he talks to his followers like they're his kids. And he's like, okay, I'm going to make us some dinner. And he'll go through the steps of what he's making, and he'll make an extra plate and put it to the camera and be like, here you go. He's the cutest thing ever, but I love his recipes. I don't cook really, but I love watching other people cook and I love seeing how they do things. So that's a whole other rabbit hole that you fall down to once you get into like cooking and making things, like the people that make jewelry or do all the face painting and character makeup. It's addictive.
Does your husband cook?
My husband does. I crock pot.
Well, that crock pots are good.
Set it and forget it. He's an amazing cook. He really is. I'm very lucky that he cooks very well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
Oh, before I forget, my tattoo. I want to put a shout out to Sean. Is awesome at Helheim. He's the guy that's doing my tattoo.
Is he? I'm assuming he's there in Salem.
He's here in Salem, and he's actually associated with Spooky too. He's been out there years ago.
Is he coming back? Because we are doing the tattoo convention in October. I'm just putting that out into the universe.
I asked him. He says, I don't know. You know, he works all the time.
Okay. So it's rough to get away, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's hard for him to get away, and I hate that my camera can't pick the tattoo up. It's the detail. Oh, here's the haunted house.
Yeah, show us it. I've got a couple people asking to see it again.
Let me see.
Oh, wow. Now how many sittings was that so far?
All right, so there's the haunted house.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And there's so much detail in the
and
woodwork.
the lighting and the shading.
You just can't see it.
Oh.
Do it on camera. I cannot tell you how many hours it is. I cannot tell you how many days I've been.
It's a few.
I started right before COVID.
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
COVID 2020.
Wow.
I started, 1 or 2 sessions in 2019. Didn't go for most of COVID, of course. And then I go like every 3 weeks, give or take.
Okay.
I don't know how many sessions it's been.
Now, are you going all the way down to your forearms too, or are you just going to kind of keep it from the elbow up? Have you decided, or are you thinking about it?
All right, so I would like to do a survey on this, yes or no.
Okay.
I am going all the way down to my hand. I mean my arm.
Your wrist. Okay.
So I'm telling a Halloween story here. It's this evil pumpkin.
Okay.
That was for something in, he's angry, he's mad about something in life, and he's got this candy bowl that's been sitting on his coffee table. He lives here at the haunted house.
Okay.
And he's got this candy bowl, and he hates trick-or-treaters. And so he's got this bowl in his hand, and he's got this hand, and he's throwing the candy to the kids, like, here's your fucking candy. And then down on my arm is going to be trick-or-treaters.
Okay.
That are the masks that they're going to wear are the Ben Cooper masks.
Yes.
That are slightly articulated, responding to this mad pumpkin, angry pumpkin.
Ah.
And I love pumpkins. He's going to have thrown a carved pumpkin at them, a traditionally carved triangle, eyes, nose,
Oh.
and splattered. I want, since it's a whole sleeve, I want to put that splattered pumpkin on my hand. So, Igor says no. I say yes. It's a debate. I have to have a decision in a month. Should I continue the tattoo down to my hand? I don't know.
This is a tricky thing, and I'm going to tell you why it's a tricky thing. Number one, I would say yes, because I love that completion with the splattered pumpkin. Oh, thank you, Luna. Luna's in. She says hi. She says, I look good. Thank you, girl. Okay, so here's the trick with the tattooed on the hands. Depending on what your professional job is, I'm not talking about busking, I'm talking about the other side of things. There are some jobs where they're still, even in this day and age, they're not okay with hand tattoos.
Exactly.
Some places are good because you can, at least from the wrist, you can wear a long sleeve shirt. Like I have, my solo comes down kind of far. I can still wear, there you go.
Oh, Han Solo.
Yes, I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan. So, but he comes, thank you. But he comes down to where if I need to put a shirt on that comes down a little bit longer, I can hide it if I have to. Same thing with my hair. I can put a wig on and cover the blue if I need to. I don't have to at my current job, but if, God forbid, something happens and I have to go somewhere else, I ain't dyeing my hair normal. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to put a wig on it. So with that being said, with a hand tattoo, if you're not like a tattoo artist or working as a full-time artist, it becomes tricky, because if something happens and you have to leave your current place, that new workplace is going to look at that tattoo, and that may factor in depending on the employer and what that mentality is. So even though they're more accepted now than they've been in forever, for whatever reason, the hand tattoo people still kind of look at it and they're still kind of like,
They judge.
Yeah, which is stupid, because I love hand tattoos. I absolutely love them, and I really want to get one, but I struggle with that as well because of my profession. And just as an example, I work in insurance. I'm a commercial insurance underwriter. I work for the devil, basically, and that's fine.
That's a great job. The devil. Who would not want to work for the devil?
We have insurance conventions, and I went to one, and I was very dressed up, and I had a wig on so you couldn't see the blue, but you could see my tattoo. And the looks I got from my coworkers. And by coworkers that didn't know me, the other professionals in that field were like giving me that judgmental look, like, why am I here? I should not be in this profession. And for a split second in my head, I'm always like, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, I get like, I don't care. But I noticed that, and I was like, that's kind of off-putting, because at this point in time, tattoos are so much more accepted than they've been in years, and that's such an old school mentality. So I think it's tricky when it comes to whether you should or should not get it. I don't think it's a matter of should or shouldn't. I think it's a matter of, in your professional life, would it be an issue outside of busking and doing the fun things?
Were these people your age that judged you?
They were. Okay, so I'm 40.
I did not ask her how
That's
old
okay. I'm 40. I'll admit I'm 40. I'm getting there, people. It's fine.
Learn two things. Never ask a lady if she's pregnant or her age.
Or her weight. 3. Or the weight. The weight too. But I'm okay with being 40. But here's the thing, is most of those people were anywhere from my age to slightly older. And it was a mix of men and women, but mostly men.
Men?
Yes.
So weird.
Which was super strange.
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky thing of whether you should or should not get it. I think that's subjective to the person. So if you have 10 people that say yes, get it, and 20 that say no, but you really, really want to go for it, and you know, with your profession, you think it's going to be like, you're not going to have issues per se, I think it might be something to consider, but also to weigh that factor in there.
So Squid, or Igor says, he's got two nicknames, Squid and Igor.
I love it.
Igor says that not to, because people would judge.
People are going to judge you no matter if you step to the left side or the right side. That part of it.
And if I were to leave, like you said, go to another job, that could be a factor there.
Yes.
My current job, it would be okay.
Okay.
I could put earrings in. This big hospital, there are residents, there's people in my department that go short sleeve, and they have sleeve tattoos. I mean, they have purple hair, pink hair, red hair. Right. Doctors.
See, that they're a lot more progressive than some of the places I've been. See, that's awesome. But I think that, so if you're at your current job and you know here's the thing too, is and I'm not trying to talk you out of this by any means. I'm just saying to weigh these things. You never know what direction life is going to go tomorrow.
I hope.
Which sucks.
Yeah. If Igor hears you say that, you've solidified his.
Sorry.
His
But in the same breath, I dyed my hair blue. I was on a conference call with a bunch of my coworkers, and my boss was the first person to say, "Why aren't you on camera?" Because I didn't go on camera initially, and I said, "Well," he's like, "I love your hair. Go on camera. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says." He's like, "Go on camera, show that hair off." I'm like, "Okay, it's done. Just as long as there's." So when I started the job, just to preface, I would wear a wig and I would wear a long sleeve so that I would hide things because I didn't know if it would be accepted. And that's how I went to my interview.
I would love to see a picture of you like that. Wig, cover tattoos.
With the I'll send you one with the normal look. But that's how I got hired there. And then once I was there for a while, I did a strip just to kind of test, and they were okay. And at one point, my boss is like, "Why are you wearing a wig?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, we have big name carriers coming in because we deal with really big name carriers that are huge in the insurance company." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know how they would react to that, so I'm trying to maintain that professional cookie cutter look." And he's like, "I don't give a shit, just be you." And I'm like, "Done." So I had to say.
That's cool though.
So it's I'm very fortunate, and you're very fortunate in your job as well. So I mean, if they're cool with it and that's truly in your heart what you want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Do it.
I'm going to retire in 15 years, and I don't plan to go anywhere else.
Do it. Just do it. Then do it.
Now you're making up for solidifying his...
Now I'm just telling, because here's the thing. You also only live once.
Yeah.
Your skin is on you forever. The sleeve that you have is absolutely gorgeous. It's phenomenal in every way, shape, and form. And when I come visit, I'm going to make an appointment to see that man because I need something done by him.
You have to make an appointment at least 4 months in advance.
And that's fine. I will make it like a year in advance. It's going to...
So that way you know you have a goal to work for to get here to Salem.
Absolutely. It'll happen. But it's your skin. You're only in it once. If that makes you happy and if that's what you need to complete it, then go for it. Because here's the other thing too, to my point. If hypothetically you did need to cover it up, they make a lot of really good makeup that covers tattoos nowadays. So if you need to cover that up for whatever reason, they've got makeup that you can put on that they can match your skin tone and you can't even tell you have a tattoo.
So they create it for you, or you just go like to Sephora or whatever?
I'll have to get you the name of it. I'll send it to you. But a girlfriend of mine uses it because she's got neck tattoos, and when she puts it on, you can't even tell.
I
do too. I do too. But I do. I like them on other people, but not for me because I'm a wuss and I don't think I could take that kind of pain of a needle on my throat. I can take everything else, but not that one. But they do make makeup that you can use to cover it. And they use it in movies a lot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What was the most painful spot on you?
There were two. So this little piece right here.
Ow.
The end of his gun, I told my artist, this was 6.5 hours. I sat through, I did it all in one sitting. It was on a trip to New York. I was visiting my family and I booked a tattoo appointment. I booked him for the day. So he did it all in 6.5 hours. So when he got to this, I looked at him in the face and I'm like, "You need to hurry up." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because that hurts and I want to hit you." And he's like, "I'm almost done." I'm like, "Okay." So that was probably the most painful part, was this right here. And then I have a tattoo on the back of my neck, which is the total basic white girl thing. I got my zodiac symbol on the back of my neck, which I'm a Sagittarius, so it's just an arrow. And there's a running joke with that I'll tell you later. But that one, because my neck is so bony, that also really hurt. Yeah. So those were probably my two. What about you on that beast? Did you have any painful spots? That same
arm. Oh. That whole part of the arm, and then like in the shoulder area, because it goes. I don't want to take my. It goes.
Does it go all the way up? Oh wow, that does go all the way back.
Right there.
Oh wow, it's so pretty.
Thank you. There's a lot of detail here.
Yes.
And again, the camera destroys the quality of it.
My husband just chimed in. Thank you, JD. Dermablend.
Dermablend. Thank you.
Is the name of it. So you can use that, and yes, that's the name of it. So you can Google it, and there's a lot of different places that sell it, but that will cover your tattoo. So if you were to get a hand tattoo and you did need to go on a job interview or something where you needed to hide it, they do make Dermablend. You can use it and then just get like a translucent powder to set it, and you're good to go.
Thank you for that information, husband.
Yeah. So so this whole area right here was just not fun.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then he puts lidocaine on it after the skin's opened up, numbs it, and I'm like, go on to town, because that numbs it for about 15 minutes.
Yep. So you can't feel it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get any of that. I didn't even know that was a thing. When I got my tattoos, I didn't even know like numbing thing was a thing. And I was just like, all right, let's go. And he was like, do you need a break? I was like, no, just go, man. Just go. I'm like, if you need a break, I'll take a break. But if you don't need one, then just have at it.
Tough girl. Good. It's a beautiful tattoo. It looks just like Harrison Ford.
His specialty isn't even portraits. It's a different type of art. So he's got a very, very big range of things, which made me happy. So thank you. I could talk to you all night. Yes, I know. I just realized we've been doing this for almost 2 hours now. So first of all, thank you everybody that's kind of hung out with us and watched our ramblings. We have talked about a lot of different things tonight.
And I was just going to continue talking about tattoos.
Yeah, we could have a whole other conversation about just tattoos. But yeah, so it's okay for, I would say to you, Brian, to get that hand tattoo. That's your skin. You're only in it once. If you really need to cover it up, Dermablend. They make those. That's right. You just like, boop, set it and forget it, and all of a sudden you don't have tattoos anymore.
Yeah. Well, yes. I don't want to keep you up any longer. I could do this on and on and on.
So could I. But just again, you're used to like the dead girl. Oh, come on.
What did they say?
He said that Igor used to like me. But now that I've gone to use the cover up on the hand, I've lost some points there. I'm sorry.
Nah, I hope he comes in.
If not, I'm hoping that when we visit, we can find a night where obviously you're not working and he's available. Maybe we can all do dinner.
Oh, we will. That will happen.
I think we need to do that.
And I really, he's got to go to Spooky. He's got to go.
We're gonna start a petition for him to come, and then he's got to go. I'm just saying, I think he would have a great time.
He would.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for spending your evening with me and for chatting and letting everybody get to know you a little bit better. And don't forget, boys and girls, to follow Salem's Black Hat Society, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. I remember that time.
At borahporium.etsy.com.
Yes, get on there. And you can also get to the Borahporium. I think that's also linked through Salem's BlackHatSociety.org, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Okay, perfect.
Maybe.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian.
And buy that book.
Get your book. Put a note for a little something special. Oh, I think we froze. We did. All right, guys.
I think we got.
There you are. We froze for a second there.
I think that's the spirits here in Salem saying it's time to say good night.
I think so too. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Until next time, boys and girls, make sure you keep it spooky.
I'm going to be watching Midnight Syndicate.
Yes, next week.
23rd, your channels.
23rd, 8 o'clock. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for following and being awesome.
Thanks, guys.